Hey guys, my name is Sarah Floyd, and I'm so excited to be sharing these simple rules, tips, and tricks for you guys. So let's get excited and jump right into the video. Let's go. We're going to show you some tips and tricks on how to stay safe in the science classroom. Don't do this. Do this. Don't do this. Do this. Don't do this.
My eye itches.
Do this.
My eye itches.
Don't do this.
This is 10 milliliters.
Do this.
This is 10 milliliters.
Don't do this.
Teacher, I don't know what to do. Stay.
Do this.
I got something in my eye. Where's the washing station?
It's right over here.
Never, ever do this.
Hold it like this. Maybe not sideways because that's not safe sometimes. And if it's hot, wear gloves or a towel. But other than that, make sure you're not holding it by the top part. And always make sure to check the glassware before you use it. Make sure there are no cracks, smudges, or anything, and make sure that they are completely cleared out before you use them. You do not want any chemicals mixing in with each other or anything spilling on you or potentially cracking. Then we have our dress code for the lab. Make sure that you have closed-toed shoes, no sandals or flip-flops ever in the lab. Make sure that your hair is tied back and that you have something covering almost every inch of your body. If you have long sleeves, roll them up or try to cover your arms in some other way. Put gloves on, have an apron on, and make sure that you have any other lab safety coverings such as goggles or maybe a hairband to hold your hair back just in case so that your hair does not get caught in any of the chemicals or any of the fire that you're using. Y'all, look at how good he looks. If you have a spill, do not panic. Do not try to wipe it up with your sleeve or anything that is near you. Make sure that you raise your hand no matter how embarrassing it is and ask the teacher for help. No matter how irritated they are with you, it is against their policy to not help you. And you can get out of doing a little extra work. And then we have our symbols of safety. Our first one is our disposal alert. Where do you put whatever it is that you're using? Our second one is the biological hazard. That's pretty simple. We have open flame alert, thermal safety, which is the symbol that appears when it reminds you that there is something that is hot around you, and you'll probably have to use some kind of glove to protect yourself. Then we have our sharp object safety. The symbol appears whenever there is a dangerously sharp point on something, and it is just cautioning you to make sure that you are careful around those objects. Then we have fume safety. Sometimes we do use chemicals that will mix and set off something in the air that can be very harmful to our eyes or our lungs. So whenever you see our fume safety symbol, make sure that you are cautious about where you're putting it and definitely not breathing it in or putting it near your eyes. Then we have our electrical safety, which is the symbol that appears whenever we need to make sure that whatever we're using is in a safe electrical equipment requirements. So we need to make sure that it's not by water and things like that. Then we have our plant safety. We're making sure that anything that is plant or alive is being taken care of like a living thing and not like an inanimate object. Then we have animal safety. If we're ever using animals or any type of living thing like the plant safety, we have to make sure that we're treating it with respect and that the doors are closed while we are using or testing on these animals. Then we have radioactive safety. The symbol appears whenever a radioactive material is used. Then we have our clothing protection safety. This is just telling you, make sure you're wearing an apron like the rest of the video we'll talk about. Then we have fire safety. The symbol appears whenever something is an open flame and we're using that. So we need to be very cautious about our hair or anything that's dangling that could catch fire, especially flammable chemicals. Then we have our explosion safety, eye safety, poison safety, and chemical safety, which we'll go over shortly. And then we have our fire safety. Now, if you are ever using anything that requires fire or an open flame, make sure that you are wearing your goggles. And if you're holding glassware or anything else that's touching the fire, make sure that you're wearing some kind of protective gloves, because we do not want to burn down the entire school by a simple project that we did in the science lab. Then we have chemical safety. Before using any chemical, check the back for a label. This label will show you 4 squares, which are blue, white, yellow, and red. One will say health hazard, a specific hazard, fire hazard, and reactivity. They will be labeled from 0 to 4, 0 being no big deal, and 4 being very, very hazardous. Then, before you use any chemical, make sure that you know how to dispose of it. Please don't be stupid. Make sure you know where to put it after you've used it. Okay, guys, this may have never happened to you before, and I'm hoping that it never does. But if it does, let's just imagine together that you have these beautiful filled beakers that you have no idea what's inside them. But for some reason, all of a sudden, they turn into this. Now, don't panic. Don't freak out. Everything is going to be okay. Just simply raise your hand loud and proud and ask for help. It is okay to ask for help, because if you don't, you're probably going to cut your hand or somewhere else, or somebody else will cut their hand. So just make sure that you ask for that help. And also, never, and I mean ever, clean up glass with bare hands. Don't do it. Don't do it. Never do it. I repeat, public service announcement, do not clean up glass with your bare hands, especially without a teacher. And last but not least, but most importantly, no horseplaying in the lab. No taking selfies or running around, because the even slightest disruption in the lab can lead to something awful. Like maybe you put the wrong chemical in the wrong beaker, or maybe you touch a fire and have to run around to get it off of you. Either way, being unsafe and running around and not paying attention can lead to some serious problems, like I talked about, burning down the entire school or breaking some glass. So please, don't be dumb and make sure that you're being safe at all times. And that concludes our lab safety. I hope you enjoyed this entire video. If you have any questions, my links for my research are down below and on the screen, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed and stay safe while you're in the lab. Guys, Trinity is so awesome, and I wanted to make sure that she got credit at the end of this video because she helped me make the very first part. And I just wanted to give her credit because I am not the one who did that